welcome to the first Thursday night play for the 29th session of the University Philosophical Society. Once more to begin proceedings, I'd like to call on the Registrar, Cormac Shine Scutt, to read the minutes of the last public business meeting.
Hello again. An ordinary public business meeting of the University Philosophical Society took place on Thursday, the 28th of March, with President Working Clerk Scutt sometimes in the chair, but mainly face down on the floor, spewing vomit out of the side of his mouth and loudly applauding everyone's AGM speeches. It was the AGM. Lord, would you stand up, please? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Later on, he was helped to the podium by two willing council members, where he proceeded to pontificate for roughly 10 minutes. Roughly 7 minutes of which consisted of silence and grunting. My personal favourite was his telling the crowd, after another minute-long silence, "Oh, there's so much love in the room." Oh yeah. And if you thought that that sentence couldn't actually sound sweet from Lorcan, it did, and we really took it to heart, Lorcan. I mean, I'm going to ask you to stand up again. Yeah, look at those cheeks, okay? He looks like he's all decked out for his communion. So, it was a very emotional eulogy that said goodbye to his presidency of the Phil, and especially when he leaned against the lectern and said, "There are only a handful of societies." And what the end of that sentence I never will know, but Lorcan. So his charm shone through those problems, and despite the haze of alcohol enveloping the room, with so many people taken away by ambulances later in the night that there was actually gridlock outside the generator hostel. So yeah, he was in the chair and in the bin. The minutes were read and signed without objection. There were no fines, there were no questions. It was the AGM, so there probably were reports, but I don't have them written down. There's motions on notice and motions not on notice. It's the same. I would have more, but again, when you're at an event 6 months ago and you're drinking a lot and you write something on a piece of paper this small and you're like, "I'll keep this for later." 6 months later, you can't find it. So, there we go. Thank you. And yeah, just before he handed over to Roz, which was beautiful, it was beautiful. He called upon the great philosopher poet Lauren Conrad from the Hills, and he said, "This is like, honestly, like, I'm sorry for being so emotional right now. Phil." The 329th session had begun. There being no further business, the meeting adjourned.
Does anybody object to me signing these minutes as a true and accurate record of the last public business meeting? Okay, welcome to our freshest new conference debate. The motion before the House this evening is that this House will get famous or die trying. First of all, to introduce our guests. On proposition, we have stand-up comedian, finalist of 40 Comedy Awards, and resident Olympia Panto Dame, Al Porter. Also joining Al on proposition will be renowned street performers who received a 5-star review at the Edinburgh Fringe, and World Street Performance Champions, Lords and Strut. On the opposition, we have up-and-coming stand-up comedian who recently opened for Dylan Ward. Because we like him with nepotism in the film, he's also my cousin, 2025 Best Live Irish Comedians, Ronan Bruce. The standing orders of the debate will be as follows. Student speakers will have 5 minutes to speak and guests will have 7 minutes to speak. After the first minute of the speech, Paul, our treasurer, will ring his bell, like so. After this, members of the audience are free to stand up, extend their hand, say sir or madam, and offer a point of information. The speaker may choose to accept or reject you. If they accept you, they'll indicate, obviously, and you have about 10 or 15 seconds to make some sort of interjection or thinly veiled insult at their speech. It's not compulsory to accept POIs, but we recommend accepting 1 or 2 throughout the course of your speech. At the 4-minute mark, or in the case of our guests, at the 6-minute mark, Paul will ring the bell again. At this point, the speaker has re-entered protected time and nobody may offer a point of information. At the 7-minute mark, or the 5-minute mark, Paul will do a double ring, at which case the speaker should start wrapping up within the next kind of 5 or 10 seconds and then take their seats again. Because we like to encourage audience participation, if you like what you're hearing, you're free to shout, hear, hear. And if you dislike what you're saying, you're free to shout, shame. There are oratory returns, which you should have gotten all on your seats. Please fill these out to rate the student speakers only, and this will go towards the oratory medal that we award at the end of the year to the best orator at the Phil's Thursday night debates. So, without further ado, on the motion that this house will get famous for die trying, I call on the senior officer, theoretical physics student, ex-registrar and HNC of the Phil, Andrew Boynton.
When I first asked these 4 boys to carry me in on a chair to a rapturous round of applause, they did not realize I was speaking tonight. That's what you get when you're famous. It's fucking awesome. I just dropped on my sheets, I'll be back in 2 seconds, but contemplate that. So first of all, I like to speak. Madam President, ladies and gentlemen of the University Philosophical Society, ladies and gentlemen players. I'd like to talk to you about why it's actually really class to be famous and why you should absolutely risk your life at every possible opportunity to get famous. So I had structure. That's clearly not it. So what I'm going to talk about is first of all 2 points. First of all, why having loads of money when you get famous is really, really fucking awesome. Secondly, the sort of validation you get when you're famous. And thirdly, I'm going to run through some tracks that you can go to try and get famous, balance up the risks and gains of doing those things, and then kind of finish the debate. And I really, really hope I hit 5 minutes. So let's go. Point number 1, the benefits of being really fucking rich. Because that's what happens when you're famous. People just give you money. People will literally pay for you to walk beside them so they can think they're your friend. Because that's what society has become. It's fantastic. It doesn't matter if you're ugly, buy a new face. It doesn't matter if your friends all abandon you, buy new friends. Nothing matters but being wealthy. And you always hear that trope, money can't buy you happiness. That's a complete lie. Happiness is just serotonin and dopamine, and you can now buy injections for them. Money is everything, and that's what comes with being famous. So you should literally risk your life because it's really, really, really awesome. Won't find love, you say? Another chemical reaction you can replace. It's absolutely great. Don't have sexual drive? That's why they invented Viagra. Basically, the benefits of being famous, of being really, really rich, are why you should risk your life trying to get there. And number 2, validation. And this is something I'm actually an expert in, because I literally can't write a Facebook status without getting 100 likes. I'm really, really, really popular. I actually narrowly missed out on the Trinity's top 20 at position number 21, something for which I will never forgive Jack Leahy the bastard. And basically, the validation you get when people like your status is akin to nothing else that I can describe. So I don't know what it's like in the real world for people, because like I do theoretical physics and basically live online. We don't have social lives. We have a mandated social skills class we had to do last year. I really, really wish I was joking. So yeah, so actual real world interactions don't actually matter. I presume, I don't know, are hugs the equivalent of Facebook likes these days? I actually don't know. But like imagine like getting really good status and multiply it by 1 million, because that's what we get in real life. It's absolutely class. Now, ways to get famous. Okay. Oh yeah, so sleep with someone. Okay, possible risks of getting this. You might get an STD. But I'd like to paraphrase John F. Kennedy's 1961 inaugural speech and say, ask not what your cunt can do for you, but what you can do for your cunt. And if you want to like get laid all the time, sleep with someone famous. Because then everyone else is going to sleep with you, because by association, you're famous because you've slept with that famous person. Who cares if you broke up Zac Efron and Vanessa? She doesn't deserve it. It's great. And they always blame the other person, so you're completely blameless and famous. It's fantastic. Number 2. Oh, a point of information. Perfect.
You know the way you said that no one cares well, that guy breaks up with Vanessa Hudgens? Well, Zac Efron's fangirls will probably have something to say about that, and they crush a bunch of damn things.
Getting there. So, point number 2. Get your content. Get involved. Go new. Go be a page 3 girl. Do some porn. It's really awesome. Risks, people might not respect you, but you can buy people's respect. Reference back to first point. Number 3. Go on reality TV. It's really easy. People are stupid. Like that girl, what's her face, Nicole, who's in like who had the chance to be in 6 and sing my number 3 favorite non-Beyonce song. There's a whole lot of loving going on. Lied about her age until like literally the final round, and forgot to keep on lying. She's so stupid. The winner of Big Brother 8, Brian Bello, forgot how to spell his name when he won when he was signing his check. People are idiots. You do not have to be smart on reality TV, and you'll get instant fame. It's fantastic. Finally, kill someone. Any history student go to name anyone who killed, like that guy who killed the Pope, that guy who killed Abraham Lincoln, that guy who killed JFK. They're all famous. I don't do history, but they're famous to some people, I suppose. And then, like, finally, if someone like sleeps with your celebrity crush, as you were saying earlier in your point, kill that person who got with them, because they're a skanky bitch for sleeping. And then you'll be famous again for that guy who killed that person. So, like, obviously there's risk there of dying, like, of being killed by those people. But I think that the benefits of, like, being famous is completely outrageous, because you can do whatever you want, because that's what being famous is. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to sum up my speech by saying one race, one gender, one class, you.
Senior freshman, non-political science student and member of council, Hugh Gardner.
When I saw this motion earlier today, I actually misread it. I thought it was this house would die trying to get famous, like Princess Diana. No, it's not. My fame is bad is just called Kerry Katona. I actually don't know if she is dead. Maybe she did die trying to get famous. She's definitely rank. Rather than the motion, she might be a bit closer to like this house would get famous and desperately try not to die through like yo-yoing ways and I don't know, try having another baby. It might be worth a few page spread and Take a Break or Pick Me Up or one of those magazines. Like, fame at that level is like okay. It's pretty horrible. Like. I also don't know what my second point is. It's on class reps. I tried to bring this into a student level of fame. I literally just have the words. I just have the words friendless, fame-hungry gimps. By extension, the JCR, a level of student fame that kind of illustrates why fame is bad, like powerless losers feeding off the week-long admiration of lusting, fresher idiots like all of you. You'll realise so soon how wrong you were. Earlier we were playing a game of Would You Rather, and all of us actually agreed on this. You can guess the answer yourself. It was, would you rather lose a finger of your choosing or be president of the JCO? No, seriously, fame is actually really tough. I was reading off Kanye West's best tweets earlier. One is just, fur pillows are hard to sleep on. These are all written in caps lock, by the way. One is, I love everybody. Only thing I don't like is taxes. Me and taxes gone fight. Arguably always difficult for quite an evil billionaire. Boyfriends are like rush hour traffic, always in the fucking way. Again, a tough impediment to his ruthless sexing of women. In case anyone was wondering, yeah, all those tweets are actually written in caps lock. It's very funny to read them. But like when you're famous, you're kind of unfairly targeted. Like John Waters was like put in prison, or like arguably it was for not paying his parking ticket. But no, I think it was really just jealousy of his fame, as he wrote in like a 2,000-word article in the Irish Times. That was more accurate. Like it is quite tough being famous. Just a regular lad like Prince Harry can't go for a walk in the park, or go for a date with a girl, or get 8 prostitutes in Las Vegas and summer around with the damn paparazzi bloodhounds being planned his every move. Living closer to home, our own education officer can't wank in the society room on the top of our own student union presidents can't cheat in the college exam without those damn hogs just looking for minor flaws. Like speaking of that famous Trinity top 20, like fame seems quite undesirable. People are on it like the JCR president. Donal and Cormac here today barely marked their half an entry. Molly Kenny was annoyed with her unfair journalistic representation. They actually had a nicer one written, but unfortunately it was fact checked. More specifically on promotion, like what is it this house would get famous or die trying? You could do both. Actually, no, considering I'm not going to say that. Considering how Diana went down. Okay. Afterwards. Yeah, so fame doesn't do people a lot of favours. The Beatles said they were bigger than Jesus, and where did it get them? Dead, dying, and irrelevant. Speaking of Jesus himself just died to get famous. Hey boys. Mankind's self-explanatory. I'm just going through a list of what fame was bad for. Osama bin Laden had to hide from paparazzi in his own. Margaret Thatcher, what it did for her was make people rejoice over more when she died. Admittedly, fame can be nice at times. Stephen Hawking, he has a lot of power. Just because he's famous, he can literally say anything and people just accept it. He's like, oh, time is a liquid. Yeah. Joanna Lumley, just with her posh, famous voice, would just be like, oh, some bullshit about some Himalayan tribe. Like, really, I think just slip under the radar. Proved fame is good for no one. Can't say that either. Thanks very much.
I'd like to thank you for his fine words, and now for my first guest of the night, Mr. Al Boylan.
Who I really have fucked rigorously. If you could just stand up at any point to make yourself known during my speech, that'd be great. Which is how I deter people from points of information. I didn't fuck that girl. Not that I wouldn't. No. It's good to be here. By the way, the JCR are great because I was over there and they had a poster during that week that they've had this question. They had a sex health challenge, which I can only assume is how many cocks can you suck without getting gonorrhea. I don't know who competed, but I know that girl won. and get some more love for my own career. You know, I would love to be famous. Of course I would have died trying. I was mugged recently because I dressed like this. You see, the problem is, I had to try and become famous. If you're looking at me wondering, oh, is he, isn't he? I am, I'm from Tala. And I am, I'm big from Tala. I mean, I know I'm overdressed, but I've always wanted to be like this, and that's why now I have to achieve fame so that people don't beat me up for being this. I know I'm overdressed, but I mean, look at that face. I mean, I would love to buy a new one. I mean, I think if you can't hide it, decorate it. I work out to try, you know, I do a lot of running in Tala, not voluntarily. But I do it, you know, it's so important to try and, because honestly now, this face has stopped me getting gigs, you know, and that's why I need the fame. I wanted to be in, this is why I speak like this, I wanted to be an actor for years, you know, and I had this drama teacher that said if I didn't lose my Tala accent, I could never become an actor. And now I'm unemployed, and my mates from school are in love head. Which is difficult for me, although I did get a part in Love Hate, you happy for me? I'm going to be playing Nidge's gay cousin, Nudge. Although I can't wait, when we were in school we got used revision books. I mean, we weren't into that acting thing. I got one for Shakespeare. In print it said what happens in Hamlet. Somebody scribbled underneath, stays in Hamlet. It's important to really try and achieve fame at all costs. I mean, I would do anything. I would have done that California program. My favourite thing was that one of Trinity's favourite ex-students, and I don't want to be rude, so I'm not going to name him, but he actually stood up in the Senate when California was on and said, California! It's David Norris. I think you won the sexual hell challenge because you cut out important pieces of your dresses just to reveal just enough. That's great. Just rip that wide open. That's verging on sexual assault. Honestly though, he said California is taking advantage of young people in Ireland. Now if Norris thinks you're taking advantage of young people, California, but then that was cancelled. She's great. You know, anybody can become famous. This girl spent 10 minutes last week saying to me, do you know what's mad about today? It feels like Friday, but it's Thursday. It was Wednesday. I heard her talking to her mate Sarah. We all know Dublin City University. And I heard her, she said, Sarah, I think I've seen your boyfriend with another girl in college. What? DCU? No, he didn't see me. She was going to be on TV, she was going to be a star. That's what's so beautiful about fame, you know? I mean, she's great. She can't get a job now, she does nail art. She says, oh no, not being mean. I dropped out of college. Some of my mates who didn't get a third level education had to go to Australia to get jobs. And my mates that didn't get into Australia, they do nail art. But she also works in a shop. She's got this, I want to tell you about it. She's got this great accent. It's called Aristocratic Valley Permit. Where you over-enunciate auditive words, but still manage to pronounce them wrong. She's great! I was mugged. More on her later if I have time. Fuck, there's an inside button. I was mugged for looking like this, and honestly I think fame is just about being able to walk and you don't have to introduce yourself to people, and that's why I wanted that. And I honestly, when I was mugged the other day just for this, and if I was famous I would not have been mugged. He saw me and thought, oh, he has fucking money, right? Two lads with a knife, which is weird because why can't they both have knives? I was wondering if that was an apprentice issue. And no, when do I get to use a knife? When you're ready. But I deserved an Oscar, an if-tip. The performance I gave during that mugging, okay? It was fucking brilliant. Now, I had TV ideas, one about two people who fall in love in life with a dole. It's called Friends with Benefits. Game show, Al Porter's Wanky Wank. I have one that's about gay strip history. It's just montages, clips, you know. know, reeling in the queers. And my favourite, very topical, LGBT Russians paid asylum to other countries by doing their best impersonations live in studio of tyrants gone by. It's called Tsars in Their Eyes. Did that in UCD, they're like, oh, don't get it. Continue. I love sycophants. It's great, but they're like people who, when they say, "Oh, I just have to validate my parking ticket," I picture them taking it aside for a quiet word. You're a good parking ticket. Honestly, when I was being mugged, I deserved an Oscar because sure they have a knife, so I'm thinking, yes, I'm definitely going to give my phone, my wallet, whatever they want, because there's a knife. I don't want to get stabbed. But that would have been fine if they punched me, floored me, and taken everything. But their punches and kicks were really shit. So I'm not going to go, what the fuck is that? Because then you're getting stabbed. So when they're punching me, I felt nothing, and I'm going, oh my god, that you're fucking killing me here. They're kicking me. I'm like, am I being mugged by 2 9-year-olds? When they walked away, I stood up straight away, wasn't injured. One of them turned around and said, what are you doing standing up? Clearly felt emasculated. So I had to go, oh no, I feel it now. It's like internal bleeding. And slowly reassume my position. I'm not getting paid for tonight, so I'm going to go over by another minute. And I'm going to hold this up while I do. This is a comedy club I run on Monday nights in the Woolshed Bar and Grill on Parnell Street. I know you're from Trinity, but go on for a rough night out. See how the other half, see how she lives. I gotta say one final thing. I did almost die, well not die trying, the mug thing died trying to get famous, but I got an STD, like you were saying, trying to get famous, because I was doing a hidden camera pilot show, you know. And I was doing this show, and they had this old joke that they'd heard, where you go up to the top of a taxi rank, knock on the first window, say, if you bring me home, I give you a blowjob. They say no. Second window, bring me home, give them no. Third window, will you bring me home? Yes. He drives off, there's 2 taxi driver friends, think he's a pervert. Now, they wanted me to do this in the hidden camera show, and they said, we'll choose the most gruff-looking first 2 taxi drivers so that it really had effect. And I saw this guy, big guy, white hair, slicked and disgusting, sweaty, greasy, ooh. And I thought, this is going to be hilarious. And I went to him, knocked on the first window, said, if you bring me home, I'll give you a blowjob. And that man said, all right. Monday nights, home.
I'd like to thank Al for his kind words, and now I'd call on Bernard Casey to conclude the case of the opposition.
Again, usually, of course, go out here with the quick lane. It's more than all doing to a villain again, usually. I was tossed on a good to fail with the winter in Barnesland. Tom in, shot in you, of we have knocked meg, on top of the column. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a recorded message from Andy Kenny. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here as he's busy lighting candles for Mayo to win down Ireland. He's also testing out some new conditioner for his sexy, smooth, silky hair. But Al, I must say that was a fantastic piece of debating there. But Al from Tala, of course, I do expect you to break into my house, but being a gay man from Tala, I expect you to rearrange the furniture. I'm here to debate that Irish people should not be famous. Irish people should not be famous because when we do, we either grow our hair long and try to unsuccessfully cure world hunger, or else we shave our head and become priests. That's all we do. But and in Trinity, this is Trinity. This is where people, you know, this is where the most famous people start. This is where most people become famous. And look, people on a gallery drinking 2 girls. one girl just came from the circus. Great fresh this week. But let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Bernard Casey. I come from County Kerry, and I know what you're thinking, and the answer is no, I do not shag sheep. gay or on drugs. Short hair and doesn't play football, gay. Long hair plays the guitar, drugs. Medium length hair, doesn't play any sport, wears a leather jacket and plays 2 instruments, a gay druggie. That's what my nan always says to me before a night out.
She goes, whatever about the knackers? Whatever about the jingles? It's the gay druggie side, what are you about? There's no such thing as gay druggie. There is! Does spike your drink that take your Honda? Drink that take your Honda.
It's a very strange area of rural Ireland, you know. We're still very much influenced by the Catholic Church, you know. We don't believe in Viagra where I come from. No such thing as Viagra at all. We believe in the method of stick it in soft and let it be happening away inside them. Most famous people come from cities, known cities, you know. People come from known cities and towns in a certain country, New York, London, Dublin, Boris and Ossory, you know, they come from all these places. They're not going to know where I come from, you know. Even in Dublin, people don't know where I come from. They say, yeah, man, I was talking to a fellow from Kerry there last day, actually, and he said he was from Tralee. You never near Tralee? No, I'm about an hour from there now. Are you near Killarney? No, I'm about an hour from there now. You're up by Kenmare, is it? No, we're about an hour from there now. Oh, you're up by Dingle in West Kerry? We're actually 2 hours from Dingle. It's like trying to tell the Dyslexic Society they're doing their protest outside Aldi and not the dog. I went to New York for the summer. It's fantastic. Anyone here been to New York? Yeah. J1's all the way. But I suppose you're on that side too when you were probably half twisted outside some nightclub. But anyway, not like me. But I was in New York for the summer, and I said, you know, it's going to be great. I'm going to go over. I'm going to do theatre, and I'm going to do stand-up every night of the week. It's fantastic. But like any Irish immigrant, right? I went to New York, and I got a job on a building site. With a load of degenerate drug addict block players from Ecuador who kept calling me Patrick. It was absolutely but you can't sound tough. A construction site is tough, isn't it? It's manly stuff. You're lifting buckets all there and you can't seem tough when you walk in with a bucket just going woo! Here you go. No, it doesn't work like that. Even the roll call in the morning, they were saying, alright, stay out there. Gonzalez. Yeah. Peterson. Here. Johnson. Here. Casey. Yeah. You know? It doesn't really work like that. And even when they love picking fights with you on a building site just to see how tough you are. So they come up to you and they're just like, oh, you think you're tough? Coming over here from Ireland? I lay 100 blacks a day. I lay 100 blacks a day. I kick your ass. It's like, oh yeah? Well, I can dance. It's not exactly going to get you by anywhere. It's not going to do that very well. But, that's the thing. The only thing I did over there in New York, I was trying to do with the stand-up and trying to do with the theatre, but it was so hard, you know, you weren't getting paid or anything. So what I ended up doing was busking on Times Square, but then I found out that I couldn't play any instruments. It's kind of strange. So I created my own instrument that my father taught me to play a number of years ago. He was very strict on music, my dad, you know. So he was like, if you can't learn anything, make something up yourself. So I was doing that anyway. So I just stood at the corner of Times Square, just thinking of an instrument to play, to make up, so I just went. I used to love playing the Addams Family when I was younger as well. Remember the Addams Family? You know, remember that? twisted, they go into a nightclub, they go on a dance floor, and they look like a rhinoceros that was hit by a tranquilizer. Because if you look at any Irish people on a dance floor when they're drunk, especially Irish men, or fresher men, look at them on the dance floor on a night out, and it looks like something out of a David Attenborough nature documentary. As in, you can imagine David Attenborough doing the voiceover for that. You know, just imagine it now when you're wherever you are. As the male makes his way through the dance floor, he sizes up his options to see which female is suitable for him. He sees the beautiful blonde-haired girl with stiletto high heels and tan legs and thinks to himself, I've got no chance. So he makes his way to the bar counter and intoxicates himself with such a high level of alcohol it would make even the ugliest girl look half decent. Soon, he sees the two-ton mess with split ends in her hair, flip-flops that used to be high heels. Bingo! He dances with her, he caresses her, he tells her silly little lies like, you're pretty and what you're saying is very interesting. Soon, the sexual kidnapping is complete, and they go back to her house to save him the embarrassment. There, they have the world's most unattractive sex. It would make Gary Clifford laugh job his eyeball. However, when this young woman wakes up in the morning, looking for a kiss and a cuddle, he will be gone. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Don't be
next I call on Junior Officer Maths and Economics student, co-editors of Brana, chairperson and second prettiest officer of CSC, Dublin.
Hello, Phil. Thanks for that, Rose. And thanks for that, Cassian. Thanks a lot for having me here, guys. Just like to echo the sentiments of my esteemed colleague and joint secretary in Trinity, Cormac Shine, by saying that it's so great to see a lot of smiling freshers here today by your new best friends, or what most of us at the table anyway would call them people who mean nothing to you by Saturday. Thanks so much, Sarah and Ross, for asking me to be here. I really appreciate it. It's just by some massive coincidence, I am so into getting famous or dying trying, like both of them. I love them both. I've been thinking for the past few weeks, months, years, decades, how to mold the two together, and I think this morning at 5 o'clock in the pub when I was furiously writing this speech, I found the solution. A series of elaborate suicide attempts that I will in order to make sure that I get into the paper. If I live, I'm famous. If I die, I'm famous. Guilty birds of the one stone. Excuse me, huh? Okay, moving on. My first attempt involved me standing on top of a very tall building clasping a pogo stick. Now, the idea is that I jump off, I land on the ground, I hit the ground, I'm back up in the building on pogo stick. Now, if I die, I'm an internet sensation and I'm kind of famous, and if I live, I'm also kind of sort of both my head. If I survive, I get on to my next attempt. I wrap myself in elastic bands. I get back onto the top of the same building in a bid to become the first ever human bouncy ball. Now, I can be in the best fields of 2013 YouTube compilation twice. Who's ever done that before? Imagine the views that would get if I twerked. Suck my dick, Miley Cyrus. Okay, so if for some reason I manage to survive my series of suicide attempts, I've also come up with an alternative. Now, I feel like the whole live fast, die young thing will kind of work for me. Like, come on. I think the 27 Club could probably do with one more member. Now, I've been spending the past few hours thinking of a few people whose, YOLO attitude I could really try and recreate. So, Keith Richards, Cisco, and, Corey Monteith from Glee. Wonder for the gay stereotype this college. Congratulations. amazing, absolute fucking legend, Setime, alright? I've heard a lot of people saying 31 is a young age to die. I disagree. Now, I'm going to refer you all to a little movie called My Girl. About a third of them done that, so I'm just going to outline the plot of what happens there. So about a 6-year-old bespectacled Macaulay Culkin who gets stung by a bee and dies alone in a field. That kid died a nerd, okay? Corey Monteith died a rock star. Because he wanted to get famous or die trying. And die he did. Now, one thing I would recommend from my personal years of this kind of thing is that I wouldn't recommend building a kind of mystique around yourself. I mean, it's been tried for myself and many famous people, and it hasn't really worked. For example, I went on a gap year before I came to college. I hear the collective groans from the Irish and the English feel like lots. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I thought I left Belfast being like, I'm going to do all the words, it's going to be absolutely close. But then I realised that changing, confidence didn't really stop the effect of, the biggest contraceptive, my personality. Or much like Madonna when she went through her adopting children phase. She's just kind of left with a lot of kids she doesn't want now that that's over, to be honest. So what I'm trying to say to you guys now is that you don't need to change yourself to be famous. You just need to be yourself, just a more talented, thinner, sluttier, more adventurous, and just all-round better version of yourself. Because you've heard some absolute bullshit tonight, like Hugh just disagreeing with Andrew to try and dissipate the sexual tension that's across that table there. All I'm saying is, guys, whether I be famous or not or die trying, I'm going to be sitting there up in the clouds with my boys Tupac, Biggie Smalls, and Seamus Heaney, just not.
I'd like to thank Joe for his fine words, and now it's on the great guest in case the opposition voted for us.
I'd like to start by saying it's really great to be in Trinity for any other reason than drinking cider on the grassy incline. Watching a tosser rub a hardened ball against his red pie. That's drinking in the path. For morons. But it's really good to be here. It's really good to be here. I didn't know a friend of mine, he actually died when he was in Trinity here. And they were really nice. They dedicated a bench to him. When I was walking, I didn't know, but when I was walking, I saw, and I thought that was really, it's a tribute he would really appreciate, There's nothing he would prefer more than two lads sitting on his face. It's actually what he killed himself. He was a closeted homosexual. Obviously, I drank 2 bottles of the free wine. But more importantly, I was unfortunate enough. I went to college in UCD. Here. Because even when I was there, right, the tagline for the college when I was there was UCD Horizons, see how far you can go. And straight away I Google Maps it. It's 7.4 kilometers to the east. To be right here. That's the exact distance your dreams. If you want to be famous, follow that dream. I followed that dream. But well, the reason I had to follow was I'm like Bernard, I'm a Kerry man, but never me going on about it. I was barred from the county of Kerry because the only reason you can be famous down in Kerry is for football. And I'm over 6 foot tall, and I actually can't catch a football over my head. Yeah, right in the punchline. Look, what I'm trying to say is I was barred from the county of Kerry for being over 6 foot tall, and I actually can't catch a football over my head. Yeah, see, that's you. I got me a clap in there. Lost the sheet. Doesn't matter. Come on. Thanks very much. No, that was a problem. Thanks very much, though. It is scripted. Al, thanks very much. It was really nice to hear you speak that stuff again. Hey guys, come on. Look, Al is, fair play to him just for showing up because he was doing his own 3-man show last night. 20 minutes it's taxing. But of course, the name of Al's show was Riding the Wave, and of course, to a guy like Al, a wave is just a fist that hasn't been formed yet. Show business career the old-fashioned way, you know, one cock at a time. So, get famous or die trying, you know, besides choking on it. Actually, it's really easy to be famous, right? All you need to be is very handsome, very talented, and very intelligent. So, that's why I was confused why I was asked to speak for the opposition. Clearly an absolute superstar. Andrew, you were kind of about famous people that murder people. If I murdered you, I think I would become famous for being really sound. It's easy to become famous in this country these days, right? Like for me, for example, I never wanted to be a stand-up comedian, even though I'm really fucking good at it. Right in the punchline? It's easy to become really famous in this country. Like me personally, I'm actually so good at comedy right now that I just hang around the local post office and sell my autograph for a very specific amount of money every Tuesday. Will get that. That's the exact numbers for the unemployed. Probably get it on social benefit. That's really good. Okay, right. So if you end up being famous here, right, you end up on television in RTE, right? But RTE only copy what they see in other places. So this amazing idea for a TV show starts off in the US. A guy who'll come on and go, "Hi guys, welcome to our big show. Tonight's successful applicant will receive worldwide fame and adulation, a European palace, and $15 million. You're excited, right? 6 months later, they sell that idea onto the BBC. Some guy comes up and he goes, "Oh, welcome along to the BBC!
shit TV shows because they'll wheel up Daithí O'Shea, stinking of hate, and pretending to speak Irish. G'many díobh, good limbido, bienvenue, Don for show more. Listen, guys, before you lose interest, we have to take a 17th commercial break. Tonight's successful applicant will receive not only the lick of a bun, he will also be entered into a raffle to meet the one, the only Louis Watts. Thanks very much.
I'd like to thank Ronan for his fine words, and now to close the case and proposition, I fall on the Lord's Strut.
Ladies and gentlemen, fans, he's everybody's hero, international icon, Ireland's internationally travelling celebrity dancer.
And this, my esteemed colleagues, is someone who needs no introduction. Because every man here wants him, and every woman wants to be him.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
Just stay in position. It is Shaw-tastic! Speaking as a famous person, I'd like to say why I chose fame, or why fame chose me.
He didn't put famous in front of his own name for no reason.
Let me tell you a story. You see, when he was young, Seamus knew he had something.
Are you talking about yourself?
Seamus was born with it.
He's talking about himself.
He had a gift, that golden touch. But it's not enough for you to have it. People have to know that you have it. That is why he called himself Famous Seamus. He would be that guy.
I knew a painter, and he painted 1,000 masterpieces in his bedroom, and no one ever saw them. Then he died. And his whole house burnt down, along with all the paintings, and no one ever saw them. I don't really know where I was going.
No one knows where they're going. Fame! Let me say that again. Fame! I'm gonna live forever. I'm going to learn how to fly.
Like a bird!
When I look in the mirror, what do I see? I don't see empty space. I see me. When I look out from the stage, I don't see empty space. I see me.
It's pointless and pathetic at the same time.
Forget about those empty rooms, they're behind us. Now, when we walk down the street, 2, 3, even 4 people might recognize us.
We were brought up to this earth to change people's lives with dance. Musicians make the music.
Scientists make the science.
Philosophers make the philosophize. We all need the people in the room. It's the people in the room. We need a warm room.
We're warm people.
And we can dive into those people like a sea of people and emotions where there are no sharks, just dolphins and emotion.
But how do you get that room full of people? Where do the people come from? And are they the right kind of people?
People who are into dance.
Not because they've seen us on the telly, or think they know us from not being on the telly.
We've never been on the telly.
Here's a scenario for you, Sean. If you had written the funniest joke in the world, how many people would you want to hear it? 10 or 10 million?
10 million, I would want 10 million people. Am I right? Who's with me?
Yeah. And the best way for you to get 10 million people to hear that joke is to get as famous as you can. And where do you see most famous people, Sean?
On the telly.
Yeah. So we do whatever it takes to get on the telly.
But wait, if I told 10 people, and they all 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 told 10 people, then 10 million people would have heard the joke.
But I want the credit. I wanted to know it was my joke.
Look, 10 people who you told to know, and then you'd be like, they'd know you as a joke teller, they'd really listen to you, know they your jokes, and then your reputation would grow, and you get like famous, like cult famous.
That's not the kind of famous I'm talking about.
Well then I don't know what fame is.
There's different kinds of fame. It just depends on which one you want.
Just the one I need.
Want and need are such frivolous ideas in this day and age, Sean. With fame, opportunities are open for you. Doors open. Anything can be yours. So you have to become famous and do whatever it takes to be on the telly or die trying.
How do we get on the telly?
Gotta do something outrageous.
Like what?
Like, stick a spoon up your nose.
Like this spoon?
Yeah!
Do it.
Stick the spoon up your nose!
But wait!
Do it.
It has to be something I believe in. Something that has artistic merit.
And you think sticking a spoon up your nose has no artistic merit?
Point of information.
Well,
Believe in yourself and believe in your spoon.
yeah, in fact I do. I do think it has artistic merit because it's doing something extraordinary with an everyday object showing the limits of the human body.
No, the potential.
And the potential.
Breaking the limits.
Limits and potential equals spoon.
So stick the spoon up your nose.
I think we need some music.
We don't have any.
Judas officer, political science student, Portlook Sunshine School.
Maybe I should intersperse my comedic performance with feats of incredible dancing, some amazing acrobatics. Well, first of all, I watched the YouTube video for these fellas, and they told me they were acrobats, and then he fucking shoves a spoon up. So that's the Chuckle Brothers for you.
Point of information. Ronan alluded to me in waves earlier. Just wondering how you feel about surfing.
I will disprove the age-old misconception. My zip just broke. I will disprove the age-old misconception that no debater in the world has the upper arm strength to do more than lift a spoon.